Welcome to the 7th episode of the series, Playbook for Monetizing Your Music Rights. Here we will deal with publishing deals, when to sign, when to walk away. Today we're talking about publishing deals, one of the most misunderstood aspects of music business. Many artists don't even know what a music publisher does. Some confuse publishing with distribution. Others sign publishing deals thinking they're getting record deals, only to realize they've given away half their songwriting income forever. But here's the truth. A good publishing deal can be incredibly valuable. It can help you earn money you'd never collect on your own, get your songs placed in films and commercials, and even provide you with advances to support your career. A bad publishing deal, on the other hand, can strip you of your composition rights and leave you with almost nothing. Today, I'm going to explain exactly what music publishers do, how publishing deals work, when they make sense, and how to negotiate terms that protect your interests. There is a story of the songwriter who gave away the golden goose. It's about a songwriter named Kunle. Kunle wasn't a performing artist. He was a behind-the-scenes songwriter who wrote songs for other artists, and he was incredibly talented. In 2017, Kunle co-wrote a song that became one of the biggest Afrobeats hits of that year. The song was streamed millions of times, played constantly on radio, and used in multiple commercials and TV shows. Kunle should have been earning substantial money from that song: performance royalties, mechanical royalties, synchronization fees, the works. But there was a problem. A year before he wrote that hit song, Kunle had signed a publishing deal with a small publishing company. He was young, inexperienced, and excited that someone wanted to invest in his songwriting career. The publisher had offered him an advance of 1 million naira. To Kunle, that felt like a fortune. He signed the agreement without reading it carefully and without consulting a lawyer. A key term of the agreement was that the publisher owned 50% of Kunle's writer's share of all songs he wrote during the contract term, which was 6 years, not 50% of the publisher's share, 50% of the writer's share. Let me explain why that's devastating. In music publishing, there are two shares, the writer's share and the publisher's share. Normally, as the songwriter, you keep 100% of the writer's share, and you split the publisher's share with your publisher, usually 50-50. But Kunle's deal gave the publisher 50% of his writer's share plus 100% of the publisher's share. This meant, for example, that of every $100 his songs generated, Kunle only received $25. The publisher took $75. When that hit song exploded and started generating millions in royalties, Kunle received only 25% of the songwriter income. The song he'd co-written had generated over 15 million naira in publishing royalties over 3 years. Kunle had received less than 4 million. The publisher had taken over 11 million naira. With the help of a lawyer, he eventually negotiated amendments to that agreement, but it took months and cost Kunle significant legal fees and concessions to the publisher. This is why understanding publishing deals is critical. The wrong deal can cost you millions and trap you for years. So, what is music publishing? Music publishing is the business of managing and monetizing musical compositions. The songs themselves, not the recordings. Remember back in episode 1, we talked about the difference between the composition and the sound recording. The composition is the song, the melody, lyrics, and musical arrangement. The sound recording is the recorded performance or masters. Music publishing deals only with the composition. A music publisher's job is to 1. Administer your copyrights. Register them with collecting societies, copyright offices, and other organizations to ensure you're collecting all royalties worldwide. 2. License your compositions. Negotiate deals when others want to use your songs in commercials, films, TV shows, video games, or cover versions. 3. Collect and distribute royalties. Gather money from all the different sources we discussed in episode 3 and pay you your share. 4. Promote your catalog. Pitch your songs to artists looking for material, music supervisors working on films and TV shows, and advertising agencies creating campaigns. 5. Protect your rights. Monitor for unauthorized uses and take action against copyright infringement. A good publisher actively works to increase the value of your compositions by getting them placed, properly licensed, and fully monetized. A bad publisher just sits on your rights, collects money when it comes in, and provides little actual service. So, how is publishing revenue split? This is where it gets a bit technical, but it's crucial to understand. Every composition generates what we call publishing income. This includes performance royalties, mechanical royalties, synchronization fees, and other revenues from the composition. This publishing income is traditionally divided into two halves. First is the writer's share. This is your share as the creator of the song, 50% of total publishing income. The other is the publisher's share. This is the share that goes to whoever administers and exploits the composition, the other 50%. Now, here's what's important. If you don't have a publisher, you keep both shares, 100% of the publishing income. If you sign a traditional publishing deal, you keep the full writer's share, 50%, and you split the publisher's share with your publisher. So you'd keep 50% writer's share plus 25% of the publisher's share, totaling 75% of publishing income. Your publisher keeps 25%. But as we saw with Kunli's story, some deals are structured differently and not in the songwriter's favor. This is why you must understand exactly what share you're giving away in any publishing agreement. There are several types of publishing deals you might encounter. Let us go through the main ones. 1. Full publishing deal, traditional deal. In a traditional publishing deal, you assign your copyrights to the publisher for a specific term, often 3 to 5 years, sometimes longer. The publisher owns the publisher's share completely and provides services like administration, licensing, promotion, and copyright protection. You typically keep your full writer's share, 50% of publishing income. The publisher keeps their publisher's share, the other 50%. So your split is 50-50, but both halves are not yours to give. You're giving away the publisher's share only. Publishers often provide advances in these deals, upfront money against future royalties. The advance is recoupable, meaning it's paid back from your royalty earnings before you see additional income. 2. Co-publishing deal. A co-publishing deal is more favorable to the songwriter. In this structure, you keep your full writer's share, 50%, and you also retain 50% of the publisher's share. The publisher receives only 50% of the publisher's share. So, let's do the math. You get 50% writer's share, plus 25% of the publisher's share, totaling 75% of all publishing income. The publisher gets 25%. Co-publishing deals are common with established songwriters who have leverage and proven track records. If you have the negotiating power, always push for a co-publishing deal rather than a traditional full publishing deal. 3. Administration deal. An administration deal is the most songwriter-friendly structure. In an admin deal, you retain full ownership of your copyrights. You're not assigning them to the publisher. The publisher simply provides administrative services, registering your works, collecting royalties, handling licensing, in exchange for a fee, usually 10 to 20% of the gross income. So you keep 80 to 90% of all publishing income. The publisher takes a small percentage for their services. Admin deals are typically shorter term, 1 to 3 years, and they give you maximum control and income retention. If you're an established songwriter who just needs help with the administrative burden, this is the ideal structure. However, publishers offering admin deals usually don't provide advances, and they may not actively promote your catalog the way a traditional publisher would. Let's talk about advances, because this is often what attracts songwriters to publishing deals in the first place. An advance is money the publisher pays you up front before your songs have generated any income. It can be substantial, depending on your track record, the publisher's budget, and your negotiating leverage. But remember, advances are recoupable. They're loans against future royalties. Here's how it works. Let's say you receive a $500,000 advance. Your songs start generating royalties, but you won't see any additional money until the publisher has recouped that sum from your share of the royalties. If your songs never generate $500,000 in royalties during the contract term, you don't owe the publisher anything additional. It's a non-recoupable loan in that sense. This is, of course, unless the contract provides that the term will extend automatically until full recoupment. But if your songs generate $800,000 in total royalties, the first $500,000 pays back your advance, and then you start receiving your ongoing royalty share from the remaining $300,000. Advances can be helpful, especially if you need money to support yourself while you focus on writing. But don't be blinded by a big advance. The terms of the deal, how much you keep long-term, how long you're locked in, and what rights you're giving up, matter far more than the upfront money. When reviewing a publishing agreement, focus on these critical terms. 1. Contract term. How long are you committed? 3 years? 5 years? 10 years? Avoid long-term deals unless the publisher is providing exceptional value. The shorter the term, the more flexibility you have. 2. Territory. Does the publisher have worldwide rights or just specific territories? If they're only equipped to administer in US or Canada, don't give them worldwide rights. 3. Reversion clauses. What happens to your copyrights when the contract ends? Do they automatically revert to you, or does the publisher retain rights to songs created during the term? Negotiate for full reversion after the term expires. 4. Minimum commitment. Some agreements require you to deliver a certain number of songs per year. Make sure the commitment is realistic and doesn't creatively constrain you. 5. Controlled composition clauses. These clauses can limit how much you're paid for songs on albums that have recording agreements. Watch out for these. 6. Expenses and deductions. Can the publisher deduct expenses from your royalties before paying you? If so, what expenses are allowed? Expenses should be defined, and some may need pre-approval from you. Negotiate for clearly defined, capped expenses to avoid surprise deductions. Let's get more practical. Here's how to decide if you need a publisher and how to choose the right one. First, do you even need a publisher? Here's the truth. Many independent artists today don't need a traditional publisher, at least not initially. You might not need a publisher if you're an independent artist who writes and performs your own songs, and you're comfortable handling administrative tasks yourself or with a small team. Same applied if you're registered with collecting societies for performance royalties. If you use a digital distributor that handles mechanical royalties from streaming, you may not need one. Lastly, you do not need one if you're not actively seeking sync placements in films and commercials. You might, however, need a publisher if you write songs for multiple artists and need someone to pitch your catalog. If you want to maximize sync opportunities in films, TV, and advertising. If your music is earning internationally and you need help collecting royalties from multiple countries. If you need an advance to support your career development. And if you want professional administration without the burden of tracking everything yourself. But be honest about what you actually need. Don't sign away rights just because someone offers you a publishing deal. Make sure they're providing real value. If you decide a publisher makes sense for you, here's how to choose. Research their track record. What other songwriters do they represent? Have they successfully placed songs in high-profile projects? Understand their connections. Do they have relationships with film music supervisors, advertising agencies, record labels, and other artists? Evaluate their transparency. Will they provide detailed royalty statements showing exactly where your money comes from? Assess their commitment. Are they genuinely interested in building your career, or are they just collecting catalogs? If you can, talk to other songwriters they represent or seek reviews from other sources. Ask about their experiences. Does the publisher actively promote their works? Do they pay on time? Are they responsive and communicative? When negotiating a publishing deal, fight for these terms. 1. Shorter terms. Aim for 3 years maximum initially. You can always extend if the relationship works well. 2. Reversion of rights. Ensure your copyrights revert to you after the term, especially for songs that haven't recouped. 3. Co-publishing or admin deal. If you have leverage, push for co-publishing or an admin deal rather than full publishing. 4. Territory limitations. Only give rights to territories where the publisher can effectively operate. 5. Approval rights. Retain approval over major licensing decisions, especially for brands or uses that might conflict with your values. 6. Audit rights. Include the ability to audit the publisher's books to verify your royalty calculations. 7. No cross-collateralization. Don't let the publisher use earnings from one successful song to recoup advances paid for unsuccessful songs. And as always, consult an entertainment lawyer before signing any publishing agreement. The money you spend on legal review will save you multiples of that amount in the long run. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.